Welcome to Drinks in the House. My name is Zach Kowalski. With here my co-host. He is the pride of Pickney, Kevin Allison.
I'm Kevin Alice, and this week I bought jeans that fit me like a glove and like make my ass look fantastic.
Were those hot apple bottom jeans?
Oh no, they were the boots with the fur.
Oh shit. The open toes.
Joining us also, he is the glue that holds this thing together, Andrew Hamill.
Hi guys.
Did you buy new jeans?
I didn't. I did not. I feel like I haven't bought a new pair of jeans in like 2 years. Just really getting to the old ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lived in feel.
Yeah. Great. Move on to the next guy.
Good.
This isn't working for me. I got nothing.
This is what the fans want to hear.
I do not believe so.
And finally, he's the producer slash seducer. He is super producer Josh.
I also got new jeans. Ask me how they fit.
How do your jeans fit, Josh?
They ride real low for some reason. Ass just hanging out.
Super producer. Slash seducer.
Yum.
So did either of you guys get a wallet chain for your new pair of jeans?
No, they're not Jenkos.
Okay. Well, not worth buying then.
ICP does not represent here. All right, Kevin, you want to introduce us to our first segment?
I sure can. Our first segment, as per usual, is our weekend nerd. I guess I'll go first since I generally do after the lead-in. I actually had a pretty uneventful week for once, but I did get to play Resident Evil 7, and the game has blown me away with how good it is. It's been great. I thought when they switched to first person that it might suck or there might be some cracks in it, but it's been one of the best Resident Evils since 4. Easy peasy. I got to play it on the stream, so Nathan played it on the stream when we were doing that. I've been playing it off stream. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about that game and how it's transitioned well into first person. Other than that, listening to a lot of music, just random stuff. I think Fat Joe came out with a CD. I checked that out.
Really?
Yeah, it just kind of is what it is. It's not a bad CD, but it's not one that I'm gonna walk around and say people go listen to it. It was fine.
Each their own.
Yeah, that's basically been my week.
I also have had a pretty uneventful week. Just been reading that Johnny Marr book. Like I think I talked about it on the last episode, but really good. If you're into the Smiths, pick that up.
What's it called again?
Set the Boy Free. A lot of a huge chunk of it is just him in a lot of detail going through all of the making of the Smiths albums and touring cycles and just really kind of granular stuff about where they recorded specific demos and tracks and kind of the sequence of stuff and specific guitars that he wrote certain songs on. So if you're kind of a Smiths nerd like I am, then it's definitely a fun read. So check that out.
What's your favorite Smith song?
That's tough. I've been really into. I've been listening to the first album a lot, so I've been very much into You've Got Everything Now. Just kind of, for some reason, that was a song that I overlooked for a very long time, and it's just so goddamn catchy. And I, a couple weeks ago, picked up, someone had I was out in Pittsburgh and picked up a bootleg vinyl of the Troy Tate sessions, which was, they actually recorded the first Smith CD one time with a different producer, and then everyone in the band didn't like the mix, so they went and re-recorded it, and that the second recording's the version that's available on the album. The version of that on on the Troy Tate session is also pretty amazing, and that kind of initially got me back into that first album, hearing the kind of more live raw version of it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a great song. But I for some reason, that's a band that just one of them I can't really get sick of. Just repeat listens. I ended up listening to all 4 studio albums today, kind of as I was reading the book.
Nice.
And I was wearing a Meat is Murder shirt too, so I I thank God I was alone in a room and no one else saw me because I looked like a real fucking idiot today. But so yeah, I shared a lot there. So
No, you sound like my hero right now.
yeah,
I've always really loved their self-titled and The Queen is Dead, and I just recently
Yes.
started getting back into Strange Ways, and I think for the last maybe 3-4 months, I pretty much just listened to Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before, like every other
such
day.
a good song.
It really is.
It is. Yeah, that album is criminally underrated because it pretty much like everyone gravitates towards The Queen is Dead,
Mhm.
and I get that because it's kind of packed with a lot of like outside of the self-titled, it's packed with a lot of their bigger songs. But I mean, in strange ways, I feel like they were kind of already dead as a band when it came out, so a lot of people just sort of let it pass with time. But that's a fun one to go back and listen to. It sounds so much cleaner than the other albums, and I just wish they could have at least made one more album because they were still just getting so much better as songwriters together.
So I picked up a lot of shit this week. I had a very busy week at work, but somehow I managed to go to several thrift shops, record stores, and half-price books. I mainly, I mean, if I told you the amount of things that I got, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, like, you spend too much money. But basically every Christmas, my parents don't know what to get me, and I said, hey, give me half-price books, gift cards. So I kind of went wild, and I bought about 14 movies, including just recently I came back from St. Vincent's, and I picked up Heavyweights, picked up
Yes.
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which I can't get enough of. I haven't seen that in years, so that was a fun one. The first 2 seasons of Community, which I've been binge watching. It's such a perfect show.
Yes.
I also picked up the biopic from Joy Division called Control. I also picked
Great
up
movie.
a couple really good, well, I haven't read them quite yet, but I've heard they're really good autobiographies. So I just picked up Kim Gordon's, it's called Girl in the Band. Really stoked to read that. I love Sonic Youth. And the other one was Patti Smith's, Just Kids. I've got probably like 30 pages in, and the writing is just wonderful. It's a real joy to read. I also picked up a couple records from a couple bands I've liked but haven't really listened to too much. First one being Wax Idols, the album American Tragic. It's really goth, and it's kind of a violent breakup album, but it's very melodramatic too. So yeah.
Nice.
And then the other band, I think they only have maybe one record, but they're called Sunflower Bean, and they're a pretty good indie rock group. They kind of sound like Beach Fossils to me.
Okay.
So yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty chill.
I did have one quick question. Is that the Patti Smith book that you were talking about? Is that the one where it's her kind of talking about her and her friend kind of going through, like, kind of growing up together almost?
Yeah.
Like, through the
So
pump scene? Okay.
her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe, who
Yeah.
is like a poet and photographer. Yeah, it's kind of about them growing up together.
My brother read that book and said it was amazing, so I would assume that he'll probably continue to enjoy it thoroughly.
I had a decent week in Nerd. Picked up a couple new games. PlayStation 4 was having a flash sale, so I picked up Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2. I never played a Souls game before. I'm about the first hour into Bloodborne. It's kicking my ass already, so I don't know how that's going to go for the future.
I got fucking lost in that game. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. It's a tough one to play.
Like, the game itself was difficult, but the thing that pissed me off the most was not having a map.
Yeah,
And it
I
just
don't know where to
like,
go.
sucking the soul out of me.
I'm glad somebody else is having my troubles.
It was awful. I had to stop playing it.
Yeah. I figure I'll give it like 5 hours. If it doesn't
Yeah,
hook me in
that's
that
how
long.
long. That's about how long I gave it.
Yeah. I also picked up this game called Starwall. It's for free on the if you have PlayStation Plus. Don't get it. It's fucking horrible.
Oh, I love that game. It's very simple. It's very simple.
Yeah, it's a very simple game.
Is it better or worse than I Am Mayo? Because that's the
Fuck,
game where you
way
just tap a
better.
glass
Yeah,
of mayonnaise
Fucking way
until you
better.
get like a trophy, right?
So
Yeah,
much
basically.
better than I am, Brad.
I put him on the same plane, honestly.
How's the gameplay work?
So you play as a Norwal in space,
I
and
like
your
it.
object is to break balloons with your horn.
Is it like joust or balloon fight?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
Now, have you played it multiplayer?
I have not, no.
That's your problem.
All right.
Because that game as a single player game is dog shit bad. That game is a multiplayer game while everyone's fumbling around is amazing.
All right, I might have to try it with my girlfriend, because that's why I got it, actually. You know, it's like, here's
Yeah,
a cute little thing.
If you can get 3+ people, that's where it's better. Because then people start trying to do strange alliances and like flobbity jobbing all over the fucking place. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
basically, you just kind of flop all over, and
Yep.
then shoot stardust out of your ass to
Yep.
move.
To go forward. It's a
Yeah.
very goofy game. But yeah, definitely a multiplayer game. Gotta
All right,
try,
I'll have to try that out.
Never do single player again. I'm so sorry for your
Yeah,
loss.
no, that was... I was about to call that out. What the fuck do we do when we call them? Oh, the troll toll. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
you were gonna put Starwall on the troll toll.
that's it. It was.
How can you call out like a space Norwal?
That's what I thought. Play the fucking
Oh,
thing. It's
we're
on my
about to learn, and I
PlayStation.
so rudely interrupted.
You can play it when we're done
forgot.
recording.
All right.
Completely forgot about the troll toll.
How could you forget about the troll toll?
I apologize, guys. You know what? We should edit that out. I don't want people to know that I forgot about it. I'm too embarrassed.
What's that? You know what it is, bitch.
And finally, I have a new podcast recommendation. It's called True Crime Garage. So if you're into true crime at all, they also review craft beers, which is, you know, fun. You want to hear about murdering craft beer?
They found
Alright.
his testicles lodged deep within the victim's throat. Also, try this lager.
This week we're drinking Hinky Dinky Lager.
Hinky Dinky Lager. The official beer of the Funky Monkey.
4.5 out of 5.
Oh, man.
But actually, the hosts are really fun. It's like two best friends that just talk about a different case every week and also review craft beer.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. True Crime Garage. All right, on to jumping.
Wanted to jump in.
On to the jumping.
Under the jumping.
On to the jumping. All right, that's staying. We've been hitting it pretty heavy with our history episodes lately. So we just wanted to do something fun this week. So we are doing our pop culture guilty pleasures.
So this week we kind of just decided to do a top 3 of guilty pleasures that we all have in pop culture. So we tried to separate into categories. So we were going to do movie, album, and then video game. And since I know little to nothing about video games, as evidenced by every prior episode of this podcast, I'm going to be sharing a television show guilty pleasure that I have. So let the experiment begin. All right.
Wacky.
I guess I'll kick it off here. So I would like to preface kind of all of my picks as I guess they should be guilty pleasures, but I legitimately love them. And I think at least 1 or 2 of them other people will like. But I know that kind of the world as a whole doesn't necessarily look on these things as nicely as I do. My movie was MacGruber.
Oh, I love MacGruber.
For my own sensibilities, I thought that movie was perfect for kind of the whatever listeners out there that haven't seen this film. It's based on a Saturday Night Live skit starring Will Forte, where he plays a MacGyver-style character that's always trying to get himself out of, well, at least in the skits, there's always a bomb that's about to detonate in about a minute, and he is trying to MacGyver himself out of situations, and he slowly reveals over time pretty much that he's just a terrible person in a different way. One episode he's racist, one he's homophobic, and then oftentimes he's just trying to make the people around him grab gross items that don't really seem like they could be used to kind of detonate a bomb, such as a bucket of hobo sperm. One. kind of so they took this idea that would usually be about 30-second skits on SNL, sort of at the most, and stretched it into a 90-minute film. It only cost them $10 million to make and only made $9 million back in the box office, and it was actually pulled from theaters in 21 days.
Wow.
So one thing that I read online is so it came out in the same time as the movie Furry Vengeance, starring Brendan Fraser,
Ugh.
and it actually made less money than Furry Vengeance in the theaters.
Ooh.
So fucked up. So it currently holds a 47 on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's critically speaking. For viewers, it's actually worse, which I was surprised by, and it only has a 34.
That is surprising.
Yeah, and it was, though it has a 47% from critics, it was slaughtered by a lot of prominent critics. A.O. Scott from the New York Times wrote an entire review that was just based on the question, why does this exist? But I personally, I unfortunately did not get to see it in theaters, but saw it as soon as it came out or was released on DVD. I love it. I think they did a great job. It's clearly a bunch of guys that are really into kind of shitty 80s action movies a la Steven Seagal and all those idiots. And it does a great job parodying it. And I also think Will Forte is a genius. I think that guy does almost no wrong with it. So Josh said that he liked it. Is this a positive pick for everyone else, or how does everyone else feel about this movie?
I've actually never seen it.
Oh, you would love it.
Yeah.
I think
That's
you
what
would
I've
enjoy the movie. I watched it. I actually was one of those people who paid for it in theaters.
Very nice.
I liked it at the time, but going back has not treated it well for me. I've tried watching it past that. Like, at the time, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Like, it entertained me. It wasn't like I didn't watch it and go, holy shit, I gotta watch this again. But like, I went back and watched it about 3 years ago. I got about halfway through it.
But it's got Chris Jericho.
I
It does
know
have Chris Jericho in it.
it does have that.
In a pretty hilarious scene where he assembles a team of kind of like super military people and then loads them all into a van and kills them all by accidentally detonating homemade C4 explosive that he had made.
Is it
on
Mark
his own.
Henry in that too?
Yes,
There's a bunch
yeah.
of WWE
Mark Henry
guys.
is too.
Kane and The Big Show
Yeah.
and a lot of other guys. And Kevin, I went back and watched it this week and was crying laughing.
There you go.
So that's where I am at on this movie.
That's fair enough. I mean, that's
Hold
why
up.
it's your guilty pleasure.
Yes, yeah. So I if you haven't watched it, I recommend you give it a viewing. It does seem fairly polarizing for people though, but I feel like
check it out.
if you're into that weird Will Forte stuff, then it's definitely good for at least one viewing.
So my pick isn't nearly as cool, but I absolutely love this movie. It was really hard for me to figure out a movie that you know, it's a guilty pleasure, but I recommend it to everyone all the time. And that movie is Spice World.
Yep, that's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I never, I think we all kind of grew up around that huge Spice Girl hype.
Mm-hmm.
And I clearly remember growing up in elementary school, and every time there was a talent show, there'd be a bunch of little girls up there singing, Spice Up Your Life.
Every time.
Every time. And of course, I would always laugh at them, and it's whatever. And I think when I was about 17, my friend showed me Spice World, and I was just like, really? Spice World, And I was like, I was like kind of getting more into like glam, like Britpop stuff, and I was like, all right, this is cool, like they turned me into like Velvet Goldmine, and I always thought that was a really cool movie. It played out like one of the Beatles movies, like Hard Day's Night. Like, it's just this goofy satire of this touring band. And
Isn't Roger Moore in it?
Yeah, I believe
yeah,
so.
yeah, he is the commissioner, and he always says these weird, like, coded messages to the Spice Girls, and it's the scenes are kind of treated like Charlie's Angels,
I was gonna
where
say, sounds like Charlie's Angel.
he's always like petting like a cat, and he's always like yes, and the falcon will fly at midnight over Antarctica when the drums are silent. I suppose if you like British comedy and can stand the Spice Girls, I'd say it's a pretty fun movie. So
There's actually a pretty awesome episode of the podcast, How Did This Get Made? About Spice World. So
Yes, I recommend that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's if you're a fan of the movie, you'll definitely find that a pretty funny listen. So
I was actually in between a couple movies that I could put on there. I was very much in between a couple, but I'll stick to one like the rules state. And I'm going to go with the 2001 movie, Down to Earth, starring Chris Rock.
oh wow, that is
Yep.
a bold choice.
I don't know why I enjoy this scene so much, but it is burned into my memory as me just crying laughing the first time I saw it. I think I was 13 or 14. And I have since gone back and watched this movie, and it is still a fun watch for a very different reason. But all right, so the basic synopsis of this plot is a young African American comedian is killed and resurrected in the body of a millionaire, a rich white guy, essentially. One of the scenes after he's killed and resurrected as this old white man is him singing DMX's Rough Riders, just blatantly N-bombing all the way through it. And it is just amazing to witness. It's burned into my memory. So you can kind of imagine just how many jokes deal with race.
Yeah.
Pretty much
you
the
know,
whole thing.
It's a Chris Rock
Yeah.
movie. So
I mean, I love Chris Rock.
I do love Chris Rock too. I've always loved Chris Rock, but this was not his finest outing, so to
Yeah,
speak.
no, it's not.
Critics, I think I saw on Rotten Tomato it was a 20%.
That seems about right.
I think Metacritic gave it like a 23 or a 30, something in between.
Good.
Like, oof. It did not go.
Yeah, that movie sounds
But
awful.
It is an excellent shitty movie, and I'm a proprietor of those.
That was after Dogma, right?
That was indeed after Dogma.
So in two movies,
Or right. Or one of the
Chris
two.
Rock
I don't
is
remember.
resurrected from back from the dead.
I kind of want to check it out now because I was able to sit and watch the entirety of Soul Plane, and I feel like I have a threshold
Through
for.
anything you can get
I feel like I have a threshold for Down to Earth, and
It's a
this
very
other movie.
similar.
Yeah.
do.
feeling.
Well, if you get through Soul Plane, this movie is legitimately better than Soul Plane. Because, and I can say this confidently, most movies are better than Soul Plane.
Yeah.
I know Adam Sandler movies that are better than Soul Plane.
It's a bold statement. We did an entire episode on Adam Sandler movies.
We did.
I'm sad I missed that episode. I was gonna say one of my, if I have any favorite Adam Sandler movies, it's got to be Little Nicky, and everyone's just like, that is total shit. Why do you like this?
It is.
Yeah.
Little Nicky is
Yeah.
that lost them the most money.
Get in the flask.
Yeah, in our ranking,
Mhm.
Kevin figured it out by how much money they lost.
Oh, that
And
was
Little
like,
Nicky was the worst.
oh man,
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
system we did.
total bummer.
Well, the system we did gave worse movies. Like a couple of them, I think Bucky Larson made like 6 figures back, maybe.
Something
But
like that.
it
Yeah.
costed so little to make that it didn't actually lose them that much money.
Yeah. I actually also like Little Nicky as well.
I enjoy Little Nicky.
Why do I have to be the guy to fucking dissent on the argument of Little Nicky? This is not how this one should go. It should be 3-1. Little Nicky is good. Like that is.
Granted,
I
I
didn't
haven't
say it
seen
was
it in
good.
like 10 years.
Yeah.
I
Same.
said it was a fun watch. For different reasons than it being a good movie.
Yeah. Like I would never buy Little Nicky, but I remember enjoying it. I liked his character. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I've seen it like 3-4 times.
I own it. So I bought it when I was a child. Let's just get that out right now.
A
That
child
doesn't
of
make it better.
22 years old.
All right, and finally, my pick is Thomas Jane's Punisher.
All
It
right.
came out a few years ago.
All right. Go.
Yeah. It is a bad movie with John Travolta as the bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came
John
out around
Travolta with the
2006
soul patch.
Okay.
and tells the origin of the Punisher. And it is not good. It has everything I should hate about a movie. I don't like comic book movies. I don't like action movies. But I love this fucking movie. Where else can you get Thomas Jane, John Panette, and John Travolta all in one movie? Oh, and Kevin Nash.
The better question is, why would you want all those things? Yeah.
Because they're awesome.
You said Kevin Nash, right?
Yes.
I didn't mishear you. You did say Kevin Nash and John Travolta.
It's like hearing those like combination of people like in a movie is like it has the same effect on me as like when someone like dumps ketchup all over mac and cheese. You're just like, why did you do that?
I also like ketchup on my mac and cheese. That was tailor-made for this.
Thomas Jane, let me dump just a shitload of John Travolta all over it.
But it's John
Ruin it.
Travolta with his Vincent Vega hair,
Oh, nice.
but add like 30 pounds.
I wanted to mention when we were talking about MacGruber that you had said like, oh well, it's a kind of like a dumb action flick, just like you know Steven Seagal movies. And the first time I saw MacGruber, I thought that the bad guy was Steven Seagal, but it ended up being just a really
Val
really
Kilmer.
fat Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I could totally see you know him as like with the mullet and the. It sounds like a perfect.
It's a bad
villain.
movie, but it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was in the era where Marvel was making all those shitty movies.
Oh yeah, like the Hulk movies.
Oh, yeah.
my
It was
God.
right in this shit era.
Yeah.
Was there a Marvel Studios yet?
No,
Or
it was
was
when
it?
it was like they were just giving it out to like they were
Yeah.
selling the rights to like all these.
Right,
Oh,
they
you're
were
right,
selling
yeah.
rights because they were flat broke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they lost Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's why Spider-Man was a thing. That's why Fantastic Four was unfortunately a thing. That's why the Hulk was
Multiple times.
unfortunately a thing. That's why the Punisher was unfortunately a thing.
Twice.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Daredevil.
Twice. Oh my God, I forgot about Warzone.
Yeah.
Nobody needed to remember Warzone. Oh no,
Oh god.
I'm in physical pain.
Glad I could help.
Actually, another one that I can stand, The Shadow, with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I
That
tried
is
watching that.
most-
Yeah.
That is what you don't like. Like, there's been so many good superhero movies that have come out recently. Yet you like The Shadow starring Alec Baldwin.
All right, keep in mind I don't go to movies and I don't have Netflix. I don't go to like Redbox. I'm like constantly kind of catching up, and you know people are like, oh, you got to see this, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like shit, but sure, eventually I'll see it. It's just something I remember seeing on like TNT back in the day, and
Yeah.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought his like power was kind of interesting, and
He does have a cool power.
yeah, and that Mongolian guy was pretty hilarious. So
I lumped that in the Phantom. in together a lot.
yeah, the Phantom was terrible though.
I loved it as a kid.
Yeah, even as a kid, I saw that in theaters, and I was just like, Dad, can we go? I don't like this.
I'm filled with rage right now.
Flabbergasted.
just torrent the 3 Batman movies before old Ben Affleck got his hands on it.
Well, no, I love the original
Just enjoy
Batman,
those.
like the Tim Burton Batman movies. Like
Yeah.
those are great. Like my favorite like NES game is Batman from that movie, and I am in
big
love with those ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm probably skipping over like major
Yeah.
ones. I'm just trying to think the more obscure weird ones. Whatever.
Yeah, those came out a lot.
Yeah. Remember Blank Man?
God.
The hell was
You
that
remember
movie?
Blank Man?
We all remember Blank Man.
Look, we all remember where we were
Yep.
when we first saw Blank Man.
Yep.
That phrase makes it sound like a 9/11.
Where were you?
When they built the Damon Wayans, 9/11.
All right, I feel like we need to move up 9/11
Yeah, I
territory.
We do.
Real quick.
Yeah, we do.
Real quick.
Since I did the last movie, I'll do the first album. And mine is Kiss's Destroyer.
Oh.
Kiss, a objectively terrible band. Fun, but terrible.
I always have fun listening to Love Gun,
Oh, yeah.
and their pinball machine is really really good,
It's a good
and it
pinball
plays
machine.
it plays all the jams. If you know, if they were to have any.
And sure. And for a kid that lived outside Detroit, Detroit Rock City,
Oh yeah.
Anthem.
How do you feel about that movie?
It's all right.
Nah, I thought
It has its moments.
I thought it was just stupid as hell.
I like the
I love
the
that
Detroit
movie.
references. That was about it, actually.
I like Peter Criss.
Oh God, he
He's
wasn't
he's
that.
a cat.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cat man.
Yeah, I like cats. So, and he plays the drums.
He does.
So that's cool. Even though
Yeah.
I think they replaced him like 3 or 4 times.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I never understood Peter Chris's makeup because like everyone else has like fairly like intimidating or what would have been seen as like cool
Yeah, you
like
had the
face
demon.
paint.
Not
like,
not
back
Ace
in the-
Frehley.
it-
Ace Frehley was just like David Bowie. Like in
but I mean like
He was the Starman.
he was like if
Um,
one of the members of like Super Sentai like it joined Kiss like that.
Peter Chris, like his looks like he's like a little kid that went to a state fair and like got his face painted and wanted to be a cat.
Maybe,
So
Yeah.
they gave him like ridiculous whiskers.
maybe that's why
That
I
was,
relate
like-
so much.
Josh is the cat man.
Yes.
Flashbacks.
Flashbacks. I want to be a cat, mommy. Don't you want some candy, some cotton candy? No, I want to be a cat, man.
Could I end up like Peter Criss? You want that?
I was gonna say,
But yeah, that's an album.
Mhm.
I get put on. It's their first album, and just love it. But I know it's a terrible album.
dude, I would love to listen to that, like, and play like something cool, like in the background, like some awful video game in the background, like Max Payne,
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
a good one.
and just listen to Kiss. I didn't really want to think of like an album, so I thought of a song, and this is another one where I played at the bar all the fucking time, and it's Apache by Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, good call.
Which is an incredibly racist and insensitive song, but it's such a jam. You
Yeah.
know, like they full on do the Native American like, woo, you know, like in the chorus. I mean, they rap about like powwows and shit in
Hi
that
Ho
song.
Silver.
Yeah, Hi-Ho Silver, and they talk about rocking you out of your moccasins. So that's pretty sensitive. I remember coming to the bar after the whole that pipeline
Oh, the
incident.
Dakota Pipeline.
Yeah, you know, everyone was like up. I mean, they still are
Oh,
up in
God,
arms, and it's an
no.
awful, and it's an
Oh,
awful,
God,
awful
no.
thing. And not to like marginalize what's going on, you know, over there. You know, without even thinking about it, I went to the bar. I was like, it's dead. I'm gonna play the song. You know, and I'm drunk. I'm dancing around. I'm like just being very emphatic, and I looked at Zach and I'm like, whoa, this man, my timing is all off right now. Like he's like, dude, we are awful people. And then we were just like, like right after, like, so going to hell, but it's a good jam.
Yep.
Drinks on the House would like to take this moment to apologize to all of our First Nation listeners out there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Excellent disclaimer.
Yeah.
Still a great song. Probably gonna play it at the bar when we go later.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. I sincerely apologize again to whoever is listening. I'm not racist or intend to marginalize people who are indigenous to this country who are just fighting to stay and be human in this country. So it's awful, but
That's really the biggest issue that's going on right now. People are just fighting to be included at this point.
yeah. But music is all inclusive, so please try to look past how wrong it is in this day and age.
It's just a sick jam, guys.
Before we ramble into more of an apology, I guess I'll go. And I'll lighten the mood right back up by saying mine is Kesha. and I have no issue stating that. God, I love Kesha. It's just such fun, ridiculous music. It's amazing. Half of her stuff is literally about fucking or drinking. Like, that's it.
I feel
You're
like
not wrong.
I feel like the Cash Me Outside girl is like a direct like result of Kesha making music.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's 100% true.
To keep it current.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just saw that for the first time this week. That was eye opening.
Yeah, I had to have someone explain that to me. But yeah, Kesha.
So okay.
But yeah, Kesha. Specifically, had to pick a CD. I would pick Warrior. There's her newest one. It was a while ago now, because she had that huge legal dispute because she was being abused by her producer. You know, to
Yeah,
bring
that
it
was
right
fucked
back
up.
down.
Yeah.
That was super fucked up. And she ended up quitting her label because she lost the court case, which I don't know how that happened.
Funny.
But she left her label, and now she's in like a rock/country band that does covers of her old songs. It works, but it's weird.
I'm actually intrigued.
No.
check it out.
I think it's called Kesha and the Creepers. I'm not sure.
Huh.
Not a fan of that name.
Something. No, neither was I. Neither was I. But yeah,
Kevin,
if I pick one
sorry.
CD, it's definitely Warrior. It's got songs such bangers as Gold Trans Am and Come On and Die Young. It's amazing. Just fucking love listening to Kesha.
I was gonna say, speaking of bangers, I would pick Miley Cyrus over that.
That's fair.
Yeah, but you know what? Like weird pop jams kind of come out of nowhere,
Yeah,
And
they absolutely do.
and you know what? I find myself kind of realizing and trying to admit to people, yeah, this is awful, but I kind of like this. So
I like One Direction.
Yeah,
oh,
I think she is a good singer. Are her
man.
songs good? Not really.
yeah.
Not really. I can
God.
objectively look at the music and go, no, this isn't that. This isn't a good song. This isn't breaking anything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, pop
But
music
it's a
isn't
fun song.
pop music isn't there to break new ground so much as it is to like
Get you moving.
yeah,
Get you moving. Get you dancing.
body moving.
That's usually all it is.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
feel like if I
there's
touched
very
Kesha, she'd
little-
be sticky.
like ew.
Well, I mean, how does that glitter always stick to her?
Just she has this like viscous film like covering her.
It's a protective mucus.
hmm
She has a protective membrane.
Yeah, God.
She replenishes it by drinking Jack Daniels.
I think there's here's a fun tidbit. I think I watched this a long time ago, so I don't. It's probably still up, but I think there was might have been College Humor video, where Kesha played Disney princesses. Like,
Oh, I do remember this.
oh my god, the video is so good.
This was about 07, maybe 06.
Yeah, something like that. Or
Wow.
no, I think it was later. I think it was when
Was-
we were actually in college. Should have
2009.
been 09 or 10.
Yep.
Should have been one of those two.
Mhm.
But she actually goes through and like portrays herself as a Disney princess, and it's
That's
it's
awesome.
like a
It's actually
3-minute
a good
video,
video.
and it's just amazing.
My guilty pleasure is Sticks and Stones by Newfound Glory.
Oh, I remember this album.
That's a good
Yeah, I like Newfound Glory like an unhealthy amount. Like,
Do you pogo in your room?
like, yeah, I do. I still wear like my like giant like red Spitfire shirt and like huge pair of Dickie shorts,
Oh
and
yeah.
then just like I can't play guitar, but I put one on and then I try and do like as many pop punk jumps as possible.
While
Mhm.
singing into the mirror.
Mhm.
Yeah, while singing in a super high nasally voice.
And like
Um,
playing with your your tech decks and your free arm.
Yeah.
No.
Of course. Naturally.
Exclusively.
My mom just got me one of those sweet Tech Deck vert ramps. I've been getting real into that lately. I legitimately like if I have to name like my favorite like top 5 favorite bands or bands I listen to the most, like Newfound Glory is one of those, and that was like I feel like I think that they're legitimately good songwriters and love those songs, but I feel like at age like 15 and 16, like people were like, oh okay, that makes sense. 18 people were a little kind of like maybe
They were a
he's
bit more
thinking
drawn
about
aback
that.
on it.
27, it's kind of weird to admit to other adult people when they want to talk about like the new like Father John Misty album. It's like, yeah, no, I still think like My Friends Over You is a better song than anything like that.
My friends over you.
Yeah, I don't know why I still connect with those songs when I'm not even sure if the guys in the band are able to connect with those songs anymore. Just because they're probably mid-30s, nearing 40.
Yeah,
but
thereabouts.
no, I still, yeah, I very much unironically enjoy that music. Felt like I had to like present it as a guilty pleasure, but like I don't care that other people know now. Like, I love that record so much, and I love that band so much, and I probably will continue to love them when I'm old. And I don't know how fucked up it's gonna be when I'm like a 45-year-old man, like still like jamming, still like forget my
Much
name.
more fucked up than you want it to be. I'm living that future as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna
We
be
all are.
like hiding my like colored Newfound Glory vinyl in like my house away from my wife. Like, honey,
Don't look at my shame, honey.
Leave me alone, damn it. Yeah.
Your father's going to his basement. Don't bother him.
Where's Dad? He's pogoing in the basement.
What a big job.
Well,
Just hearing it from in the basement. Dad's in one of his moods.
You know, I had that album too, and I had a few others. I think I discovered Saves the Day and then just kind of sank into pop punk. I thought that shit was catchy as hell. Like them and
yeah.
like Phoenix TX.
Yeah.
I thought those guys were super cool back in the day. So I haven't listened to it since, though. It kind of makes me curious.
I feel like I don't know if everyone can enjoy it now. I feel like Saves the Day is like an easier band to like listen to because like they matured as songwriters over time
Yeah,
and
but
like
I mean,
kind of became like almost like a borderline indie rock band and to a degree. And it's harder to make that argument from Newfound Glory because they have like stubbornly been making the same record over and over again for
Yeah.
years.
That's not wrong.
I'd say give them that. You know, like being consistent.
Yeah.
That's kind of rare in a,
Yeah.
in
They
a
are
band
very
that-
consistent.
yeah, I always
Yeah.
appreciate that in a band, no matter how much they, you know, I don't like them. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I think right when I was getting out of my Newfound Glory phase, I discovered the emo game online. You guys remember that?
Yes.
And I distinctly remember killing the members of Newfound Glory in a boss battle sort of situation where they're bouncing around on pogo sticks and like and throwing, and your weapon was like throwing 7 inches or CDs at them or something like that.
I hated emo kids, even though I was one.
Sometimes you become what you hate. I always love that saying, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And the first person I ever think of when I hear that is Hulk Hogan. Just every
Yeah.
single time.
Weird.
Now he's just a racist old coot.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
a sex tape.
Ugh.
Yeah.
A really gross sex tape, too.
God, I forgot about that. I was just thinking how cool it was in Rocky 3 when his name was Thunder Lips. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, that's so awesome. And now I just think about him like fat and having sex. I'm like, oh,
And
God.
belching
Yeah.
while he does it.
Oh.
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
ate a big
I do
burrito
remember
before.
when I thought of
Oh,
Hulk Hogan in
man.
a positive context.
Sorry to ruin it even further.
I still like Hogan in spirit.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far. I don't. I feel no obligation to like Hulk Hogan. And also,
I guess I
Oh,
just
sorry,
love
go
his
ahead.
enthusiasm. He's just like one of the first wrestlers I ever saw, and I just thought he's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. And
You're not talking
And he had
about
a great theme
hilarious.
song.
Go back and watch a Psycho Sid or a Scott Steiner promo.
Oh my god. Scott Steiner.
for like 15 years, I was in the bliss of ignorance of not remembering Psycho Sid existed.
Yup.
You ruined that, Kevin.
You're welcome. Go look up a promo. It'll make you feel better.
It won't. God, the WWF was a dark place for a while in the mid
Oh my
90s.
god, it was a dark, dark time in the mid 90s.
Fucking Razor Ramon. Oh,
Razor wasn't the worst, but
He really
Psycho
wasn't.
Sid and like
Yeah.
Yokozuna,
God. Yeah.
Doink the
fucking
Clown.
King Kong Bundy.
ICP,
Huh?
ICP in general.
In general.
No, they weren't in WWE, but yes, in general.
They were wrestlers. I don't know anything about wrestling, but
I thought that they had like a brief appearance in them because they were
That was WCW.
Yeah, they were on
No,
WCW.
they were unlockable characters in an old WWF game that I have.
Really?
I think
Oh,
you're
yes,
right,
that
Yeah,
actually.
That
they
was
were
a
in there for a hot minute. Yeah.
I meant like on the TV, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. In the game context, they were there. Yes.
And don't forget they had their own game, Backyard Wrestling.
And now you've ruined my bliss.
I could have sworn that's been brought up on this podcast.
No,
before.
I brought it up.
Oh no, we brought it up.
Yeah. I feel like Josh keeps subtly trying to bring back up Backyard Wrestling.
I don't think it's fair.
If you want me to play it with you, I'll play it with you.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's not what I want.
If that's what you're lobbying for, we can make this happen.
I'm
man.
not-
All right, man. We'll get you a copy of Backyard Wrestling. God damn it.
Like, if you guys think I'm trying to like imply that we need to go play a video game with ICP and Twisted, you are wrong.
Yes. So my TV show, this one is probably genuinely like the most embarrassing of all my picks. It's the OC.
Oh, you did used to love the OC.
I still kind of like it. Like that's the more fucked up part is like recently went back and watched it and still kind of enjoy it. Just so overly dramatic.
I want to give you shit
Yeah.
for it, but I know I can't.
Okay, if I could defend it in one way, they did find a way to put a lot of good music on TV. Like they got Death Cab on TV, they got Modest Mouse on TV.
Phantom Planet.
They got got
I'm not
Ryan
saying they're
Adams
good.
on there. Yeah, no, but I mean, someone's got to help pay Jason Schwartzman's rent, so get him on that track.
Give him more credit than that. I love Jason Schwartzman,
But,
dude.
Yeah, I was more. He played drums in that band.
No,
so
I know.
You know what, Josh? I feel like you're personally attacking me right now, and I thought we were trying to create a safe space for right now.
Well, that is a mistake. Not
it.
There are no safe spaces.
I wanted to hate that show back then, and I watched it and immediately loved it. Me and my brother owned all of the seasons on DVD. They're still sitting at my parents' house. You know, if I could, I would end up watching it right now. I might end up watching it after the show just because I have it on the brain. You know.
You know what?
So-
I've always liked the OC. I never had a problem with it,
Yeah, it was one of those
But-
shows I never let myself watch.
but I liked
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
I rallied against it
Yeah.
because that's what I did when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought everything was stupid. It's like, no. Have you ever watched it? No.
Yeah.
Zach was raging against the machine.
Yeah. With my bowl cut.
Yeah, I don't know why that show just that was a dope polka though.
Thanks.
I don't know why that show just immediately hooked me and still just kind of kept me interested. I'll admit it like the plots aren't even great for the most part, and like the acting is very amateurish, but I don't know why. I just
Guilty pleasure.
yeah, I feel like it's the guy trying to come up with like a reason why he killed someone. Just like, I just did it.
I
Like,
don't
it's
know.
just like I did it.
Here we are.
Went to a rage.
I'd do it again. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I can start us off for game, and I couldn't pick one of these games specifically, so I have to say the entire franchise. But that's fine because most of them are the same game anyway, because it's Dynasty Warrior.
Oh,
No.
Oh
yeah.
God, I love Dynasty Warriors.
Oh
so
my god, I love Dynasty Warriors. They are objectively not good games. But holy shit, is it so fun to slaughter just everybody on the screen. I play this game for so many different reasons, but the biggest one for me is if I've had a terrible day, I can come back and know that Dynasty Warriors is waiting for me to cheer me up.
yes.
Because I can just take out all of my anger on the waves and waves. It has saved me from rage killing people. Like that game has saved lives.
I think this is a unanimous love.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think those games are so fucking repetitive.
Oh god, yeah.
I
That's why they're
played-
not good.
I played the Hyrule Warriors. I mean, it's basically Dynasty Warriors, but you know,
It is.
Zelda skin.
Mhm.
I had a lot of
Yeah.
fun with it, and yeah, it's just a macho, like kill everyone sort of make it as much of a spectacle as possible sort of game.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just a fun,
fun game.
mindless time, and it's awesome.
Yeah, mindless, I think
Yeah.
is the word you said.
Mindless is about the best way you can
Yeah.
describe a Dynasty Warriors
Yep.
game.
And they made like 40 versions of it too, which I'm not sure they needed to, but I literally, like, no more than 2 weeks ago was visiting my brother out of state and ended up buying a Dynasty Warriors game for a game console that only he had, just so I could play it for the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that
It's dedication.
and I had a shitload of fun doing it too.
Oh, that sounds
was-
amazing.
All right, my pick for game. Very similar to you, Kevin. Couldn't pick one game because they're all the fucking same. But the Call of Duty franchise.
Those are
They objectively haven't made a good game in probably 10 years.
I could give a shit. I just love Nazi zombies.
Well,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
That is the funnest thing to
Yeah.
do on that game.
Like, I feel bad because it's the ultimate, like, bro game.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know?
it's the absolute ultimate bro game.
Well, we have
Yeah,
all these
it's-
fucking assholes online, like
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes it the bro game. I mean, otherwise it would just be like any other fucking World War II game or franchise.
shooter.
Yeah, shooter, you
Yeah.
know.
But it does have the best controls, and I think it plays the best out of any first-person shooter.
I remember being so fucking impressed by the way it looked and being able to like aim down the iron sights and like it was just a beautiful game, like the way like you said, the
Yeah,
controls
no, the
were and
single player is really good. I just
Yeah.
played through. Was the last one that came
Infinite Warfare.
out? Yeah,
Infinite
I just played
Warfare.
through that, and the single player was great. I hopped online for like a minute. Immediate mute.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, I'm done.
Some little 9-year-old's like, oh fuck you, fuck
Yeah,
your
yeah.
mom.
Yeah, yeah, some little asshole in Omaha is fucking my mom.
Yeah. By the way, little Rodney in fucking Omaha, putting you on blast. Troll toll, motherfucker.
Troll toll.
Troll toll.
Little Rodney, little cousin Rodney, shit stain.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Rodney.
I'm gonna go get drunk.
You're nothing but a fucking prick.
There were definitely aspects of that game though that were like the video game embodiment of like Monster Energy drink though.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
where you would get like upgrades and then it would be like a Pantera like guitar squeal and then like a double bass roll.
Yes,
Like, that was-
100%.
I always found that hilarious. Yeah.
But yeah, still fun games to play.
Yeah, very cool games. Well, my pick for a guilty pleasure video game would be NBA Jam. Now this is
Oh God,
yeah.
yes.
this is a legitimately
yeah.
good game. Everyone
Yes.
everyone loves this
Goddamn
game.
right it is.
I kind of picked it last minute. Seriously, I think just every time I play it, which makes me feel a little guilty, is that I just kind of wild out a little bit, really into it. Like I'm ready for like a monster slam jam every time I fucking plug that shit in.
From downtown.
Every part of that game is so good, and its successor, like NBA Hang Time for the N64. Man, holy shit! Actually, that should be my pick because the way I got that game
Yeah.
was so fucking ridiculous. So okay, hybrid answer here: NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time. So I legit feel guilty for ever playing NBA Hang Time because when I was in the 5th or 6th grade, I just got an N64, kick ass. The only game I had for it was like Mario and stuff, and I was like, oh, I really want this NBA Hang Time game. Like, I loved NBA Jam. So I made up this little scheme. I used to draw all the time in class. I'd get these Spawn comics that were like so detailed, and I would just like sit next to it and just draw it out, and they're pretty good, at least for my age. And everyone's like, wow, that's really cool and really detailed. And like, yeah, you should draw me one sometime. And me and my buddy are like, hey, why don't we like sell these things and like go around to every classroom, sell them for like $1 or something, $2. So we went down to the copy machine in the office, and I drew up all these business cards, and I had a little business called Spawn Art, and I would just make copies of like the Violator and Spawn and all these other weird things. And so I went during recess to every classroom and handed out a bunch of pictures. I was like, yeah, I don't have all these pictures on me now, this is what you'll get if you give me $1 or $2. Everyone fucking chipped in. I had a pencil box full of ones, and it was horrible.
This is a guilty. This sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So the next week, my grandma was in town. My grandma was very nice. Every time we she comes into town. She's like, "Hey, you want to go to Toys R Us or something? You pick out a game." I was like, "Oh, sure." And I see NBA Hang Time sitting on the shelf, and it back then it was $70, which is crazy for like a game like that.
Yeah, N64 games were expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And my grandma's like, "Wow, that's actually really expensive, Josh. Like maybe you want to get something else?" And it's like, you know what? I think I got this one, Graham. I think I got it. Pulled out my pencil box full of ones, all wadded up, all dirty, and bought NBA Hang Time, and goddamn, was that a fucking good time. Just the announcer, the music, the cheat codes. It can be like presidential candidates, and every time you're like on fire and you get a dunk, and it's like Rambalama Ding Dong, or like, is it the shoes? So
Could you shatter the backboard in that game?
yeah, you can shatter the backboard in NBA Jam and Hang Time.
Dude,
Those
I
were
was
picks.
I was visibly upset whenever someone blocked my dunks in NBA Jam.
Oh yeah.
Visibly upset that they
I
would
was
do
notorious
this. It was
for
an
goaltending,
affront
just
to my
the fucking-
basic
yeah.
rights in my head.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It was mortally wounding, like to go up for like you're just on like a fast break and then go for a dunk and then just hear that doing and then it
Oh.
just bounce 40 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Ugly shot.
Lays a brick.
Shut up, you prick. they remade NBA Jam, didn't they? Put it on
Yeah,
PlayStation.
they came out with another one. I think it's on Xbox 360 or all the newer
I think
consoles.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I think they still have like the oversized like heads and stuff, and the
It did not
ridiculous
review well.
like 70-foot dunks.
I
Yeah.
played it. It was fucking amazing. I mean, NBA
Yeah.
Jam didn't review well either. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, and as a kid, I really loved basketball. I think one of the most embarrassing pictures I have of myself is me in 4th grade with a rat tail, wearing a Sonics jersey, and riding a unicycle, like all at the same time. And,
how was unicycle the most surprising
Combination of
statement in
stuff.
that?
that's a whole other story. I was in a school that it was basically like clown school, where there's like there's a gymnastics team that I was on, and they taught you how to like ride unicycles and juggle and basically be a freak of nature. So I was
So
really
jealous of you.
yeah. So I was really into sports and being a fucking clown. And I remember like renting like Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam on the Genesis, and I thought that was kind of cool. There's also another game, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a it's a hip hop themed like 2-on-2 basketball game where you can play as like Queen Latifah, LL Cool J,
Yeah.
Onyx.
I know what you're talking about.
Onyx.
Yeah, you be fucking Onyx. You could be.
Slam.
Yep, exactly. The boys be boys.
Throw your
God
guns
damn
in
it.
the air.
So between renting that, Michael Jordan's Chaos in the Windy City, there was a Scottie Pippen game on
Yeah,
the
I remember that.
Genesis. It was called Slam City. It was a terrible game. There was also Shaq Fu, which was probably the worst
Oh my God.
game for
That's one of the
any
top 10
16-bit
worst games ever.
console. Yeah. So
That's
between
unreal.
all
That
these
was a-
basketball games, when I found NBA Jam and NBA Hang Time, I was like, Lord Almighty, like this is amazing.
Well,
Jam, I don't
good
know.
picks all around.
This has been a
Great
it's
job,
been a very
guys.
fun one. Past the history ones that were a bit
We
more
needed
dry.
this, I feel like.
Oh yeah,
We needed
oh,
this.
definitely.
Yeah, we should keep doing this.
Yeah.
We can. We just need to come up with more and more ridiculous things.
Sorry, everyone started laughing
Yeah.
really weirdly all at the same time, and then you said,
Snarka, snarka, snarka.
"Did you turn into the penguin, Andy?"
Yeah.
Bury me with my money.
Well, if you have any suggestions for topics, feel free to comment on the video below or send us
Or
an
hit us-
email.
Except
yeah,
you,
we-
Randy.
Yeah, fuck you, Randy.
You are not invited to the Space Jam.
No
Is
Space
there-
Jam for you.
You
No
can-
drink on the house.
No accompanying me during my Star Wall missions.
Star Wall mission.
Star Wall.
You want to play balloon fight in space as a fucking Norwal? Fucking forget it.
Wait, is there a real Randy, or is this? I'm totally out on this bit.
No, it's a character
I'm
we
gonna be
made.
honest.
The
Oh,
character
okay.
we
All
made
right.
up.
All right, we'll cut that out. That
Yeah.
was. I don't want to ruin the flow that you guys had going there, but hey, great bit. You
Legitimately
guys,
confused.
yeah.
Randy is a legitimate motherfucking ding dong from Omaha that needs to be
Yeah.
called out.
It was a callback too, and you guys already talked about it. This is really. I got egg on my face in this scenario. This is a
Lots,
real
yeah.
bummer.
It's a real bummer.
For all of us that drinks in the house, I think that'll do it for tonight. My name is Zach Kowalski. You can find me on Twitter at Zach Kowalski. And again, tweet us your suggestions. Love to hear them.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear new suggestions. Us four can't come up with everything.
Can barely run our own
The well's
lives.
dry, folks.
We can barely write our own lines or say them.
The well's dry.
I fuck up the intro every week.
That's all right. I fuck up talking in coherent sentences every week, so
Yeah.
At least you two are consistent.
we're consistently not consistent.
Hey.
Hey. You can follow me on Twitter at Last Vindicator. I also have a Twitch broadcast every Saturday. We put up the schedule. It's called Drinking Buddies, and you can follow them at Drinking Buddies, and we throw up the schedule. We're trying to throw it up every Monday to be consistent and look like professionals, but we suck at it. We suck at
Good,
being
good.
professional. We're good at streaming. We suck at being professional.
Stream is very entertaining.
Hey, my name is my name is Josh.
Randy.
Dude,
Yes, my name is. You can follow me at Fuck Randy on Twitter.
I'm Randy.
my name is Josh. No joke, my friends call me Basketball Jones. And you can follow me at isittheshoes.slamjam@gmail.com for all your latest fast breaks and what have you. We'll be talking Air Force Ones and Jordans next week. So
Just tune in.
tune in.
I'm Andy. You can email me at diamonddallasPageFan1998@hotmail.com.
Please tell me that's an actual email address.
Oh God, I wish.
Well, that was his AIM screen name.
I haven't been on Hotmail in a while, but I might be able to find that account might be existent now.
No, you don't
You
do
know,
something
we'll
like
we'll
that
see
up.
if we can set that up. Yeah, we'll see if we can set that up.
Good.
It's gonna be my task for the week. Yeah, figure out if Hotmail exists. Step number 1.
Step one.
Can that be the new podcast email? If we get it.
If we get it.
Yeah.
If we get it.
If we get
Oh
It'll be our new
God.
podcast junk email when we have to sign up for shit.
it. All that porn.
All the porn.
For all of us that drinks in the house, have a drink in us. Cheers.
Fuck you, Randy.
Cheers.